Assalamu alaikum and good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Well, there's a bit of change in our background, and that's because of the fact that we wanted to change it. We wanted to make it look a little lovely. How are you, Maha?
I'm doing very well today. How are you today?
Absolutely perfect.
So
Great.
that's a very nice way to describe the background. We thought we'd add a bit of color and a bit of be a bit more vibrant with our
And
with
it's
our
still
sets.
green. That's the best
It's
part.
green, and I think I'm slightly merging into the background today, but that's okay. So today is a very interesting show. I hope you guys, before we start that, I hope you all had a fantastic weekend. I hope you managed to rest. You got to meet all your family and friends for a start. How are your rosas going?
My roses are going absolutely perfect, and I think I'm observing this Ramadan with full zeal and fervor too.
Right,
And I
excellent.
think for all those viewers who are out there, it'll be likewise for you guys too. And may Allah grant you all that patience which you require within this month of Ramadan, because that's the most essential part.
Exactly.
Yes.
This is what I was going to say. This patience thing. I mean, I feel like it's getting and
Because-
everything's more irritable. I'm more irritable these days.
It is.
And it's really horrible.
It is indeed a fact, and most of the time when I'm on the bed and it's about to iftar, that time is actually so hard to pass, and you just pray to Allah, oh Allah, please.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. No, I've been going through those moments. I'm like, please calm down. Please be calm. Don't be
So
angry.
that's how it is, and most of the time, even if my sister or brother is going to come over, I think my first response is not that polite. So they actually avoid me till the time it's iftar.
Oh no,
Yes.
that's terrible. But you should try and be nice.
I'm trying to do that.
Okay,
though.
good. But so today we have got a very interesting show for you. Actually, today we're going to be talking about the whole concept of our shows is to project a positive,
It is
soft
indeed.
image of Pakistan. But what we always say is that's also the real image of Pakistan, because there are a lot of people who are doing a lot of work out there, and they're really going out of their way to represent Pakistan to internationally, nationally, locally, and people are trying to do things to put us in a positive step.
I think I'm going to second that, because of the fact that people these days are really looking for their mentors, and we do have
Exactly.
mentors, and we do have people who actually influence us, and then we tend to act like them, and then we tend to achieve all of that, what they have done or what they have achieved so far.
Exactly, and we've always on our show we've always tried to look for positive, the positive people, trying to find people that people can look up to and follow, and maybe who are a good example for us to try and emulate or build ourselves towards. But today we're going to be discussing that. We're actually going to be talking about the importance of recognizing people's efforts within our society, within our country. And people, there are certain people who are representing us internationally, and they're trying to show that, there is a lot of stuff going on, because there is a slight media tendency to focus on the negative.
Indeed, and at the same time, we've got a list, and it's a list
Yes.
of 100 people who are the most influential people of Pakistan. And this, well, I have a book right in front of you guys, and this book is written by two youngsters sitting right besides us, and we'll be asking them questions related to this book and the personalities we have within this book. And I did had a little disagreement with them after
There's a
watching a
few.
few pictures, but it's perfectly all right. I think
But
I'm
that's
going
the
to.
point of it, so we can ask about it as well.
Yeah, that's something which we'll do, so it'll be the interesting part. So
Yes.
I think right now I'm going to do the introduction.
Yes.
So on my left-hand side, I've got Dr. Hawa, who's the sub-editor and researcher of 100 Pakistanis, the famous and influential. Thank you very much, Dr. Hawa, for
morning.
coming
Thank you
over.
for
Lovely
having us.
having
Thank
you.
you.
And alongside her, we've got her brother, who's none other than Adam, who is the managing editor and co-founder too. And thank you very much, Adam, for coming over, and Hawa.
Thank you for
Well,
Good morning.
It's our pleasure. Good morning.
a great
Good
tribute to
morning.
your parents, the way they have named you. Amazing it is, in fact. So,
Thank you so much.
Have you been in love with these names so far?
Yes, we do love our names, and
They're very unique.
yes,
Yeah,
they
they
are
are.
very
You
Yeah.
Oh,
won't
it's
get
great.
them. I don't think I've ever met somebody who's named Hava ever, to be
Yeah.
honest.
So, what is
That's
the
true, I
first
haven't.
response you get when you
We
you
don't
tell
need to tell
somebody
people that we are brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
They just recognize it by the name Adam and Hawa.
Yeah.
They say that you are brothers and
But
sisters.
that's good. How do you guys feel today?
We feel good.
Good.
Since it's the very first time you're on an interview, you're on a channel, and
We feel great.
Yeah.
and it's
We feel
early in the
wonderful.
morning. Was it difficult for you guys to get up early in the morning?
Yes, it was because of Ramadan.
Ramadan, yeah.
It's hard to get up so early in the morning.
Otherwise, you don't get up early.
Otherwise, we do get. When I used to be in
Right.
Dubai, so we had to reach the office at 7 a.m.
Oh, so you were in
7
the way.
a.m.
Yes,
Wow,
but
that's
in
early.
Pakistan, the timings are a bit flexible.
Yeah,
Whatever.
there you have to
Yeah.
tackle the traffic as well. So you know you
Okay.
have to get up, more earlier than you get up in Pakistan.
Exactly.
So whose idea was it to write this
Yes.
book?
Basically, our
initially?
founder, M.A.J. Jalandhari,
Yes.
he is the founder of the book.
So
And,
let's focus on that.
yes,
So
yes.
he came up with this idea. Let's tell.
Yes,
tell
he had a
everyone the
vision
story.
to promote a positive image of Pakistan, and he's been writing several books. In 1974, he wrote a book by the name of Jannat Numa Pakistan,
All right.
which appraises the beauty, how beautiful Pakistan is.
Right.
So he had this idea because of the political instability and poor economic conditions. He wanted to promote a positive image of Pakistan in these times.
Right.
So he came up with this idea of the 100 most famous and influential people of Pakistan in order to spotlight the distinguished Pakistanis. So this is the first book in the history of Pakistan, which actually brings back the lost identity of the legends of the real Pakistani nation, and this book represents our country.
Okay,
Oh, that's
so
great.
that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Trying to promote the positive image of
Positive
Pakistan.
image of Pakistan.
But who decided who goes in that list?
Basically, it was a long journey. We had a consultant in England by the name of Bayswater International.
Yes.
They had open nominations, plus they had online polls on
We
different
had
websites.
327 nominations.
We
in total.
received
Right, so this was the
327
public.
nominations.
This was left to the public to decide.
This was left to
Yeah.
the public, and we did
Oh.
one more thing. Whenever we used to conduct an interview of one of the profile, for example, when we went to meet Dr. A.Q. Khan, so in the last we used to ask them one question. Sir, in your opinion, who do you think is the most influential person in Pakistan?
Yeah.
And then
okay.
what was the response you got from Dr.
The
Abdul
response
Kadir
they used to give us a few names, which I mentioned in the interview.
Khan? Wow.
Okay.
So we used to then have more research on them, and
Okay.
we used to then shortlist the list, and this is how the list was made.
Right.
But then
Okay.
The
Let me
public
ask.
opinion and with the opinion of the influential Pakistanis.
Okay, and that's fantastic. But let me ask. Dr. Hava. You had a vote. People voted,
Yes.
and then you asked the people who were being interviewed who they thought.
Yes.
But doesn't that make it then very much public opinion rather than looking at it from a more technical point of view?
No, for
No, we
example.
did a lot of research as well.
Right.
This idea of collecting 100 people came from Mr. Hart back in the
1979.
1979.
Alright.
He was
The
the
100
first
most
person who
people-
wrote something like this. He
the
collected
100
a number
most
of people.
influential
Yeah.
people in world history.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, history.
And he recognized as the most influential person in world history as Hazur Muhammad sallallahu
So
alaihi
next time you're going to
Oh,
do
wow.
this, for example, if Maya is going to ask a question from Hawa and you're going to answer it, I'm going to do something to you, bro. Okay?
Oh, no.
He's
it's
being-
fine.
he's being all
I let
dominant.
Hawa answer
No,
that.
no, shit's fine.
No,
That's-
we work
that's
as a
fine.
team. It's like a
This
habit.
is-
That's just great. All right, so
All right.
continue now.
So it's like us.
Yeah. So
Anyway,
continue.
yeah.
You were telling us something.
So
So
most
basically,
influential
we
people
took
in
our
history.
inspiration from him. The idea came from him. So we did, what he did. He researched. He had public opinions. Then, magazines abroad like Time magazine, they have this process of asking, whoever the interview, who do you think is the most influential?
Right, okay.
So, those people tell, and then you cross-reference them, and then you shortlist them. So
Okay.
it's, it works very
Was
well.
it easy for you guys to decide then after the polls were done and after your own research was
No,
done?
we let the public do the deciding.
But
Oh, okay.
for example, the very moment when I saw the cover and I saw a few pictures, I had a disagreement too. That
I was
okay, you
reading
think that
yesterday, it's
he's one of the influential Pakistanis.
No, but
so how
that's
do you
what-
counter to that?
Well, influence depends on one's perception.
Yeah.
Okay, one can take an influential profile as it depends on one's perception, a positive perception or a negative
Yeah,
perception.
I mean, I might
So it
not
depends
like
on you.
20 of them. You might
I
not
might
like 20
not
of them.
agree with them.
But our point is, when you get done with this book, we want you to like all of them.
Really?
Okay.
We're showing the positive side.
that's
of
how
it.
Okay,
you've
wait. This
written
is
it.
Yeah.
interesting because that's the thing. How everyone has their own opinions,
Yeah,
right?
obviously.
And everyone's looking for some sort of mentor, some sort of guide in these days because we are at a time in our lives where there's so much influence, there's so much information at our fingertips that I guess we can get overwhelmed. So you need
Yeah.
that wise person to guide you. Now, when I was looking at this, you guys didn't just it wasn't a positive, negative. You didn't just focus on the positive people. It was across the spectrum.
Yeah.
Now, how can you say that people should like everyone when you have taken people whose morals, ethics, and behaviors may be questionable? Let me ask Dr. Hava this question first.
No, I mean these people.
That was
Okay.
deep.
No,
Wow.
it's just a question.
Early in the morning.
No, these people are not judged on their, personal lives or characters. Only on the fact, what they've done.
Yes,
and,
exactly, that's what I'm
and the
talking about.
point that they've reached, a position that we're, calling them influential and famous. I think that's enough, right?
But how can we call a person influential if he's
You
not
guys are
even
doing that.
if
I'll
if
answer
he's
that
not
question.
even good with his personal
These
characters?
people believed in the system, and what they really did for Pakistan, that is mentioned in this book.
You know, what we do is
their
different,
achievements,
yeah.
what they did, and why they are influential. This is mentioned in the biographies and their interviews.
No, the
Okay,
fact,
up to some extent, I think I'm to agree to that. But now the question is that we do have a lot of people over here in Pakistan which actually do not get nominated for any awards, which do not get any sort of appreciation. At least you guys stepped up and stepped ahead of, I think, all of those youngsters who were out there and wrote a book and made sure that these 100 people are influential. That's good. But now what about all those Pakistanis who are out there who are influential but cannot make it to the book, but are still influential, and people
you know,
think
maybe
that...
after this book, they might, come up and, want to be a part of
We'll
it.
come up with
are
a
we going to
second
have
edition.
seasons of
Yes,
100
we'll have a
Pakistanis?
second
Inshallah,
edition
yeah.
in 2015.
Really?
Yes, and that would be updating the other people who are not in this book and who are influential as well.
How can we
Fantastic.
make it to the book though? We are very
I knew he was
Well,
leading
there
out
are
something.
nominations and public opinions and
Okay, I
voting,
think I'm
so-
going to I'm going to pledge
He's
right
starting
in
his
front of my
campaign
viewers.
now.
So all my viewers, or in fact all our viewers who
My?
are out there, what you're supposed to do is that you're supposed to nominate us in the 2015 edition,
I'm
and
okay.
we hope that we are going to do this.
Yeah, we're planning to have an online polling, so yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
but like, let's move on from this, because I really want to discuss this, that you guys took. Let's step aside from the book now,
Okay.
because you want to focus. The whole point of this is to show a positive image
Positive image,
and
yes.
highlight the people who are doing something
Yes.
within the country and outside.
Yes.
How important do you think it is to have people like this within the country that are influential? How important do you think that is?
It's
Or do
very
we
important.
need to make ourselves known for the stuff that we're doing? Or should we not just keep quiet, do our good deeds, go home, sleep well at night?
No, people should know about the legends, like the youth these days, they don't know who the real leaders are and who are the real people who are currently running the country, and they don't know. If you ask a youngster that who is the federal minister of Pakistan or who is the former squash legend of Pakistan, they just don't know.
Yeah.
And we need to tell them that these are the legends of Pakistan. For example, Jahangir Khan,
yes.
he is the only Pakistani, in fact the only person in the whole world who won 555 matches unbeaten.
Exactly.
And he received the Guinness World Record. And the youth these days does not know about
The only thing they know is cricket, I think.
Yes,
Or
cricket
maybe
and
football.
politics because the parents watch talk shows and all
Yeah.
the time, so they don't know about this, and they really need to know this in order to build up that confidence when they go abroad. They say that we are Pakistan and we represent this country. So these legends, all of them, they should know.
Adam, I think that's a great thing. That's
Yeah.
a great thought too, and I think we need to work over this too. But right now, we're talking about the projection of all those youngsters who are out there but are influential too. So how do you think, as Pakistanis, we can promote them? Because we do have kids who are actually scoring 23 A's.
Yes, we have
in
Ali
O-levels.
Nawazish
Yes,
in the
yes,
list.
we have,
Yeah.
you've written it in
Yes.
there. I have seen it already.
Yes.
But we have a lot of other kids who are doing the same thing. But I don't know whether we actually tend to bring them within the book or maybe within the streamlight. So how do you think we can do that? We can promote our own talent.
In order to promote the youth, we were planning a next edition of the book that would be on 100 young leaders of Pakistan.
Okay.
So on that one, we would be focusing more on the youngsters, the youth of Pakistan, and we would be choosing the young generation who are the most influential among the whole community, and we would be choosing leaders like Ali Nawazish, Samina Beg, and there are hundreds and more Pakistani children, the youth who do not come in the
Yeah,
media.
like Salman Ahmed, for example,
Yes.
like the one who just came, who won the Miss Universe, like people like that. So you
Yes.
guys
Yeah,
will be
even
focusing.
Mir Zafar, the guy who won the Oscars for his graphic designing in
Yes.
the Hollywood, I think
Exactly.
that's amazing.
So we need to
Exactly.
promote these people as well.
And I think that's fantastic, because
Yes.
there needs to be some sort of, I guess it's not objective, it is slightly subjective, because it's open to opinions and it's open to polls.
Yes.
Now, as yourselves, as youngsters yourself within this community, how have you guys found it, finding these mentors, finding these people who have made an impact within the history? And how, because you must have had that in order for you to relay
Yes.
this back to everyone else. If I ask Dr. Hava and then I'll ask Adam.
We all need mentors. We
Yeah.
do. I mean, without them, we don't get the confidence to move forward.
Right.
You cannot, do something without being inspired. you know, what these people inspired us mostly was, you know, that instead if I get up and want to do something, I would, you know, first start criticizing the system, you know, that I don't like this, you know, I will find this hurdle, I want to, you know, change everything. Instead, these people believed in the system, they believed in Pakistan, and they used the same platform and did what they did. So I think that's you know, that's very inspiring. You know, now after you know, writing this book, I don't really get up and, you know, first think the negative. I rather think, you know, what can I do with, you know, the given circumstances.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's exactly it, because, you know, that's what we need to do. Like, you have this show, for example, where from the beginning we are highlighting hidden talent.
No, I think it's totally amazing. We don't have to go, you know, out somewhere.
Exactly.
I think you people get up in the morning, you know, acknowledge people like us. I think you should be in the book as well.
And you know
why
what?
not?
Yes,
That's
that's the
great.
point.
I think
That's the point, yes.
You guys
Not
deserve a big
everybody
round of
would
applause
wake
for
up
that
and, you know,
reason.
lose their sleep over something like this. But you guys do, you know.
But
that
at the
means
same
you
time,
guys
the
care.
point is that people do not realize that, you know, we just do not wake up early in the morning. You know, for example, if it's the previous night, we have to get up, we have to stay up, we have to prepare for the show, we have to manage all these people. We have this entire team working, so I think this big round of applause is for all of them.
Everyone.
And this hard work will actually pay off, and I believe in that. And
because
that's
it's brought people, like, you know, the positive people are coming together. Because that's the one thing I want to ask you this, that you guys had, you said having
But
a mentor.
before you say that, majority
say
of the
anything.
people who are in the list have been on our show, and I think
A lot of them have.
Yeah, this makes me feel a little happy about our show too, and it's brilliant. It is so far, and let us just share a few names who are
Oh, really?
actually within the book. So first of all, I think it is our premier, Mr. Mia Muhammad Nawaz Sharif. Then we have got Mr. Imran Khan, we have got Mr. Shahbaz Sharif, we have got Abdul Sattar Eidi, we've got Mamnoon Hussain Saab, who's the president of Pakistan. And here it is. So if my cameraman can zoom in a little, I think you'll get a glimpse of all the pictures which are on the cover. So here we go.
So you have a little bit of their
100
bio
Pakistanis
here,
who
and then
are
they can always
the
go
most
into-
influential
Yeah.
within this region, I think.
Yes.
And they truly deserve to be our mentors too. So if we can get to learn a little from them, I think we'll do that too. We've
Okay.
got Ali Muin, we've got Shahid Afridi, we've got Mahira. Wow, that was a brilliant choice. You know,
Yes.
you have even added a little glamour to your book.
Yes,
Yeah,
we had
you
to
have
pick
to.
everyone from each
Yeah,
field,
the
from
book
media,
is not
from
for, you know, only the boring old type.
Not
no,
the- not
it's
just
for
the
everybody.
politics,
We want
from every
everybody.
field of
Yeah.
the
We want
country.
everybody to
Fantastic.
at least, you know, pick up the book at the bookstore and see, you know, what is inside. They should know.
Okay. So when you were doing this, you know, obviously we know that people within politics, people within the development sector, everyone has a say. They have an influence within the way the society and the community are going. With the entertainment industry, how much influence do you think from doing these interviews do you think that they actually have on the society today?
Yes, they do have an influence. They have a major influence, in fact, because in Pakistan, people do not have a lot of entertainment. Like, we don't have big shopping malls, theme parks, and all. The main entertainment is watching TV.
Yeah.
That's the thing which we all do. We watch TV in our leisure time and all. So these people have a major influence because everyone watches the shows and
And we
the
do
TV
have
dramas.
Amir Bhai in the list too.
Yes, we do have him. He's one of the most famous.
He is indeed.
profile
I
of
think
the
I'm going to
country.
agree to that, and not even in Pakistan, in all the Gulf states, in the United States, wherever we have expats, I think
Yeah,
Amir
everyone
Bhai is
watches,
quite
yes.
famous. And last night I was surfing on Facebook, so I even saw a clip where they have made this character of Amir Bhai in WWE. I think that was
I even
quite
saw that
hilarious
on
too.
Facebook.
So,
Yeah, so that
so
was-
what people can go and like beat people up?
Maybe. I don't know what the concept is, but he is famous, and I
Yes,
think he's
yes.
very influential. Whatever he speaks, he actually
Yeah,
knows
people
it
do
in and
follow
out.
him. You know, if he says something negative, people would think negative. If he says something positive, people would think
Yeah.
positive.
And
you
the
know?
only thing he says is positive. So
Yeah.
that's the best part, and
Yes.
that's what we need to do. But now coming back to
Exactly.
the question which Maya actually asked, that how influential do you think our entertainment industry is? So now there was a time when all these, for example, Javed Sheikh Saab and Behrouz Sabzwari, these were the stars. They are still obviously of Pakistan, but now eventually, as the time passed, we have got these politicians who are the stars now. So do you think that there's a change in the market and the way you're going to write in the next few years will be different?
Yes, there is a change. In fact, in the previous years, the film industry was like completely destroyed,
Yes.
and in the recent past years, there has been a slight revival in the film industry now.
Yes. It's not even slide. We've
Not
got
even
6 to
slight.
7
In
movies
fact,
coming
I've
this
seen
year.
a few more new trailers right
Yeah.
now of a few Pakistani movies coming up this Eid, and I was really impressed to see them. We have like Duktar and one more movie coming up.
Na Malum Afraad.
Na
you've
Malum
got
Afraad,
Damba.
Operation 021.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And these movies, they are like the standards are getting so high that the other countries, they are appraising the movies now made in Pakistan, and
Indeed,
they are
yeah.
even saying that Pakistani movies are getting far more better than our movies.
No, we get
Because
a lot of foreign dramas that are being
Yes.
translated, but if you go to Turkey, you would actually see a lot of our dramas being, translated in their languages.
Not
like,
just
and even
Turkey, even if
a
you,
lot of
if
other
you go to
India.
our neighbor.
yeah,
Even
in our
Dubai.
neighboring country, yeah.
Even Dubai,
They
a
have
lot
a
of,
new TV channel
yeah.
which is just showing the Pakistani dramas
Because
right now.
they're,
Yes.
they're so
And
good and
they're-
strong in content.
And they're praising our dramas because they say our dramas make more sense, to be
Exactly.
honest.
Because there's a
they have a
beginning-
storyline.
Yeah, there's a beginning, a middle, and an end.
Exactly.
Yeah, their
Yes,
dramas
exactly.
don't end.
Because
Yeah.
most of the time, I think when for all those drama makers who are within the industry, I think the only thing they emphasize on is the script once again, and it's a great saying too. Well, that's a true point. That's a valid point. Now, I think we're going to talk about your personal lives, how you have been growing up together since you were brothers and sisters, and then what compelled you to write this book. I think this is the most essential question of this show. So I think I'm going to start from Dr. Hawa. What compelled you to do so? Was it because of the fact that you wanted to be famous, or was it because of the fact that you wanted to tell people that these are the people? Why?
This is our current state.
Okay, no. To be honest, I'm actually an introvert. I'm not the sort.
Okay.
I don't want to. I am in the background. I'm not usually in the front.
Yeah.
It's not my thing.
So are you going to call yourself a pessimist or?
No, not a
No,
person.
She
not
just,
a
she just
person.
works
Okay.
behind the scenes.
Okay,
Yeah.
So you just
I do
tend to
work.
stay
I
quiet.
do my part. I actually do more than my part at times.
Really?
Yeah, but only behind the scenes. But we had a great childhood. It was really fun. We did a lot of traveling, which was a good thing. It was really inspiring.
Yeah.
And going to all these places, you certainly realize that everybody is so in love with their country. Why not us? Why are we the only ones, who are criticizing? And, they actually have really great mentors and they really value them. They
Yeah.
actually have souvenirs and books like these who are actually praising them. So why not us?
Yeah.
So basically, my father had a vision. He always was the sort. He was the sort. He was really great. He is a great patriot. So he wanted to do something for the country in written.
Is he-
Because
Yeah, because it goes down in history, and then people.
because this book will stay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This book, whatever you write in black and white stays forever.
Yeah.
And plus, he is from, the times where books were, more than.
Is he that old, uncle? I'm sorry.
No, no.
We believe in books. I read a lot of
I
books.
believe in books. as
Yeah, but
well.
I read
He's
them
an
online.
icon.
I read ebooks. He reads hard copies. It's the
Yeah.
same thing. So basically, it was our passion. It was our patriotism for our country, which did compel us. I mean, it was really different from what we do. Like, I'm a dentist, and I don't,
I was going
go.
to ask that.
I don't go anywhere near this. But the point that I love my country, so I did my part.
I think
Okay.
I'm going to move on to Adam over here, and Adam, I've got.
If you ask that
no,
question, I
what
want
I'm going to
ask.
ask is I'm going to ask you about your parents, because the way they have named you really describes what sort of personality they must be having. Are the two religious
No, they are not too religious. In fact, my mother is more religious,
than your father?
but they like these kind of names.
concept,
yes,
kind of.
yes.
How
they
many
do.
siblings are you guys?
We are. I'm the youngest. Then
Ah.
we have Hawa.
Yeah.
Then we have I have two more elder brothers.
And
And
what
one
are
more
their
sister.
names?
One is
Oh, wow,
Wadud.
big family must
and
What?
Yeah,
Sorry.
5 people.
One is Abdul Wadud.
Abdul Wadud.
Yes, and one is Samad.
Wow, that's
Very
just great,
nice.
amazing.
Yes.
Okay.
And Mariam as
And
well.
Mariam
She
as
will
well.
give us.
you forgot a sibling.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
terrible.
Beat the hell out of you.
Yeah,
Especially
she-
being the youngest. Okay, so you how is it being the youngest, and then working together on this?
It does have a lot of pros and cons. At times you're really supported, at times you're really criticized, and
Yes.
bullied upon.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it goes both ways.
Okay, like, couldn't just sidestep from your personal lives for a moment, because this was actually a question that I wanted to ask before, which slipped my mind, and my producer was like, "You need to ask this."
Yeah.
But in our country, it's not our country; it's the people within it. We seem to not value our heroes or our philanthropists or people who are achieving things. We tend to sideline them and ignore them and tell them, say, well, what's the point? Until someone else picks up on it and then highlights it, and then we run after it. Why do we do that? And why are we not giving our heroes, for example, the gentleman who just came second in Mr. Universe?
Yeah.
Why are we not highlighting him? What's going on
I think
here?
we're going to call him over the
Yes,
show.
I want
because
to.
after watching that video, I was so heart-struck. I was
I
like,
was
oh my god! And
devastated.
within that video you can actually imagine, in fact you get to know about the personality and you get to know about his bodybuilding features
But the
too.
pain that he was going through, like he went through to represent the country, and then it's not. I'm not talking about the public sector. I'm talking about us as individuals. What have we done to congratulate him? What do you guys say about this?
Well, actually, I think it's the job of the media to portray the right thing.
Yeah, people lack awareness, nothing
Yes.
else. It's
They
the
lack
aware-
exposure, they lack awareness, and I think more exposure should be given on the positive sides of Pakistan. In the same way, we chose one Pakistani. His
Okay.
name is Hafiz Usman, and he is one of the best public speaker of Pakistan, having more than 70 gold medals. And I think you may not be knowing about him,
No.
but we received nominations for him from Lahore,
Fantastic.
and people didn't know about him, and we chose him in this book.
Fantastic.
But at the same time, I think, Adam, there's one more important thing. For example, what I'm going to talk about is, I've always been talking about is that on individual basis we need to do a lot of stuff. So did you actually, after watching that Mr. Universal video, did you share the video?
Yes, I did.
Yes, you
I did on
So
my
I
I
think
think you're
everyone
pretty much
did.
doing your job.
Yes, I
then.
did.
Yeah. Okay, fantastic. Okay, so talking about heroes, talking about people who are giving back to our community, to our nation. How many people within the scientific world? I think that's the right phrase. I'm not sure. It's very early. Sometimes
How many
it is like-
scientists are within this book?
Yeah.
Well, we have
I was trying to make it sound more like.
well, we have Dr. Abdul Qadir Khan,
Yeah.
and we have Dr. Atar Rahman.
Ataur Rahman.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we do not have any new names.
We'll have new names in the next edition
Okay.
because we are looking up for scientists, and these were the two which are one of the most famous scientists and one of the most influential right now.
So how difficult was it to go to every person and ask questions?
It was very difficult. It took us 2 years to complete this book.
Really?
Yes, we had to do a lot of research. We had to get a lot of opinions. We used to meet PhD professors. We used to get advice from them, help from them in finding people, and we used to
Okay,
meet.
and I have a very interesting story to share with this. That I have a friend of mine. His name is Ehtisham Ejaz.
Okay.
I don't know whether you're aware of him or not, but he once called me up and he was like that, people are writing a book with the name of 100 most influential Pakistanis, and he was like that, I'm sending you a list of names, so I want the contact numbers. So I've actually sent you, I think, 50
He was our
contacts.
internee.
Yeah.
He was
Oh,
working on
fantastic.
internship with
So
us.
I
yes,
actually
at the
sent
Sham
him the
Ejaz,
entire
yes.
list with the
Yes.
contact number. So I think I've played I've
Yeah,
done
you
my
should get
job.
That
like-
was back in
I just
2012.
it just hit
Yeah.
in my head and I was
See,
like, oh my God,
told
yes,
you
I know
guys
this
should be
thing.
in the book, It's,
Everything's
You,
connected.
you guys know everyone.
it's in the stars,
It
Wow.
is,
You are the
it
real
is
stars.
amazing, and I think I've done my job.
Yeah.
Here's wow. So you
Well
can
done.
actually appreciate us on our
Also,
Facebook fan
well,
page,
yeah.
which is with the name of Wild This Morning. But
Yes.
now coming back to Adam and Hawa once again. Adam and Hawa, how important it is these days for the youngsters who are out there to be highly qualified.
Very.
Very.
The competition is too.
Why?
too
Very
good.
is a very simple question. How important it is?
There-
Yes.
There's a lot
Very.
of competition in the market.
Yes.
We have a lot of MBA graduates. We have a lot of doctors, and there's huge competition not only in the in this country but on the international level. And being higher qualified, it's really important as we need to compete in the whole world. So it's very important to get as much educated. You have to be qualified.
Really educated.
Really
you have to be
educated,
really
yes.
qualified, and then
Because it's not easy these days. There's a lot of competition, and it's really tough to stand out there. So
You see, you have to set yourself apart from everyone else.
yes,
Okay.
exactly.
But how do you do that when you're in a nation of people, of quite a few high achievers,
Yes.
and there's a lot of competition?
Yes.
How do we do, how would you advise people to set themselves apart? Because, by doing this, you guys have taken on kind of a mentorship type role, I guess. So how would you advise people, especially because you meet people who are so successful?
Well, we advise there are good institutes in Pakistan, and what people usually do in Pakistan is that when they complete the graduation, like just a bachelor's, they tend to join business and they forget continuing their education. I think rather than in order to continue the education, they have more access now in the internet, and we have online education. You can get a university degree, or you can get a foreign degree while just sitting in Pakistan. You can
Exactly.
apply over there. So there are thousands of opportunities, and we encourage the youth to get as much qualified as they can,
Okay.
and it's really important for them to.
But I
Very
think the only reason why I pinpointed this whole point is that people who actually even do get higher qualifications, they don't tend to perform the way they should be, or the way we were expecting them to perform.
No, because most of the people do not study from themselves, for themselves. They are studying for their parents, My mom told me to become an engineer, so I became an engineer. So they're not really
you're a
passionate.
doctor.
No,
That's
example.
Just giving an example.
Sorry.
Yeah, so they're not really passionate about it, and
Yeah.
they don't know much about it. They don't know jack, trust me.
Yeah.
So so they don't work hard on it because they always, in this rebellious phase, I didn't want to do this. My mom put me up to it, So they're not really believing in it.
I
The
think
point
we
is to
even
believe
need
in
to
yourself.
change our education system.
Well, we need to
it's a
see.
little difficult.
No, but we also need to see how we approach it. Why are kids doing what their parents are saying if they don't want to and they don't
they
see a
need
future
to
in
become
it?
confident and step up to their parents and tell them what they want, because if they want to become something, they should
Should work
they should not be shy about it.
Exactly.
If they're shy in front of their parents, so how would they
Exactly.
I think
Yes.
that's something which we're going to talk
Yes.
about, and we've got something else to talk about too. But right now we're in conversation with Adam and Hawa, and we're talking about 100 most influential people of
Yes.
Pakistan, and at the same time we're talking about how we can highlight all those youngsters who are out there and are performing in a way where I think we cannot. So
Exactly.
they tend to be extraordinary, and that's how they are, and they will be. So we're going for a short break.
Yes.
Will we?
Well, we are now. I was going to add something, but we're going to go
Okay,
for a
go
no,
on,
no,
add it.
I don't want to anymore.
All right.
I will add it when we come back. So let's go for a short break, and when we come back, we'll continue the conversation.
Stay tuned.
America is in the midst of an economic crisis with no end in sight. The stock market has dropped a third since 2007. Hundreds of thousands have lost their jobs. Venerable financial institutions have shut their doors. And the auto industry found itself on the verge of bankruptcy. Americans have been here before. The crash of 1929 gave rise to a decade of hardship and despair. Is history repeating itself? Will today's crash turn into tomorrow's depression?
There are so many, as he was bestowed with great personality characteristics. But for me, it will be unity, faith, discipline, as these are the qualities lacked by our generation these days.
I am Pakistan.
In our lives, we are known by what we do. But who is to differentiate between what we do and what we're meant to do? PTV World, changing perspectives. A ray of light is enough to lighten the darkest of temples, and the voice of reason is enough to calm a frenzied mass. Few have lost their balance and steadied again. Few have retained their sight. The king of the jungle takes his time. For a single strike, his patience outweighs his might. To open a new door, old ones must not be closed. But to open a new heart, the mind must first be prepared. PTV World. Keep sight.
Hi, I'm Faisal Rahman. I will be giving you the latest and in-depth news on business, sports, and all other significant happenings from Pakistan and across the globe. That will not only inform you, but will also educate you to be ahead of today's world. So, tune in to the world tonight.
Live transmission. Hawa
Welcome
second.
back, everyone.
My
And
second?
before the break, we were
did I go first?
discussing. Guys, we're back on air now. We're having a conversation.
Go back on air.
But so we're talking about the people within the society who are making an impact, and these people, you may not agree with it, you may agree with it, but apparently once you read about them, you will have a more softer opinion on who they are as individuals. But now let's bring the conversation back. I can't remember now what we were talking about before the break, but I want to talk about the importance of mentorship, because I've raised this point a few times, but it's really important because you need people who are more experienced and wiser than you in order to get the bigger picture and to make the right decisions in life. Now, when you were doing this, how do you think that this country is doing in regards to proper quality, people with substance mentors? Do we have them?
Yes, we do.
I'm talking about what they are saying outside and what they show, what they are inside, because you got to meet these people.
Well, actually, we thought a bit different.
Yeah.
When we met these people, before meeting them, we were like really nervous. Like, would they give us an interview or not? Because they're such high profiles and all. But when we met them, they were really down to earth.
Okay.
And they were different from what we saw them on TV.
Okay.
But what makes you think that they are high profile? Let's
I
talk
think
about that first.
their influence counts.
Yeah.
The influence which they have on the society, their followers. So they give them the status of being influential.
Okay, no, that's fine, but I want to step away from the book.
Yes.
I want to talk about within society, within the community, how do you think we're faring on the mentorship front, the teachers, the guides?
I think the education is currently focusing on the same old Pakistan history, and they are not teaching about the current scenario. And these things about the mentors and all, just I told you before, that the youth does not know about them, and the education system needs to be changed a bit, and they should be focusing more on what's happening right now in the country. They should be focusing on the current mentors, who the current mentors are.
Okay.
But do you, Adam, do you really think that, our youngsters, they are in search of a mentor too?
Exactly.
Because most
Yes,
of the
they
time
are
I've
looking
seen
for.
people who are actually not even looking for a mentor. They're not even influenced by anybody. And even if, for example, I'm going to be somewhere, people are not going to come up to me or tell me or say me something which is actually going to be a little bit to the extent which is going to appreciate me.
Yeah.
So
As a
people are
guide
not, people are not even taking that initiative.
No,
What
but
is the
that-
reason behind? For example, if it's going to be Atif Aslam within the public, 100 or maybe 1,000 of the people who will be out there would know that it's Atif Aslam, but none of them will go to Atif Aslam because they think that they are a bigger Atif Aslam than him. So how do you think we can negate that?
Well, I think no one is such big, because after meeting them, I had the same perception which you are saying right
So
now.
no matter what happens, what we ask
Yes.
you to come back to the book. It's a different scenario. For
Okay.
example, you've written this book. You're going out. People know you. People do not come to you. People do not show any sort of appreciation.
Yeah.
What are you going to do then? You're going to go outside. You're going to settle outside the country. Then what are you going to do?
No, we are not going to leave our country,
Okay.
Yeah, that's
because we
nice.
love Pakistan, and we're going to take every stand to defend this country and to promote its image.
And for all those young people who are out there and they are in search of mentors, what will be your piece of advice for them? I think I'm going to start from Dr. Hawa now. Okay.
All of them should stop thinking negative. Because we have so much negativity fed into our minds that we don't go up to these people because we don't really like them.
Yes.
We never, actually, do some research on them. That they might have a good, good side. They might, you should know that, all of these people actually, came step by step. They were not all of them were born with, golden spoons in their mouth.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to agree to that, and we have got a massive population of such sort of people. For example, if somebody is saying something good, then there'll be some person who will be like, oh no.
But then
If this is something and this is going to happen, and they'll be all negative. For God's sake, if somebody is doing good, if somebody is out there and he thinks that, if he's trying, or she's trying, I think let them do that. Don't be a pessimist and
don't be a hater.
yeah, because we do get these vibes.
Exactly.
So just because of the fact that we did had a lot of morning shows who actually
Oh, you talk
do
about
all those magical and spiritual things, I think we came up with the concept that we were going to talk about something positive which happens in Pakistan.
Yes.
I think we're doing a great job so far.
Yeah, okay. And with that, we have a clip to show you from a movie. It's about mentorship and it's about mentors, and it's called The Great Debater. So go and take a look, and when you come back, we're going to wrap up the show and say goodbye. Wrap you up.
I am the darker brother. I, too, am American. I want you to try out for the debate team.
You sure you want somebody like me?
No. That's why you're trying out. Gentlemen and lady, debate is combat, but your weapons are words.
In a time of change, he taught them to find their strength.
Dad, I made the debate team.
Now, Tolson can be a bit of a rebel. It's extreme for my taste.
Debate is blood sport. You must destroy your opponent, not only verbally, but physically. I am here to help you to find and keep your righteous mind.
When our nation was in need, he inspired them to give us hope.
The time for justice is always right now.
She's good.
Everybody knows he's been running around stirring up trouble.
Get down.
One of them's liable to get hurt if you catch my drift.
Mr. Tolson!
Since it's clear that you have no evidence, I suggest you let him go.
Are you threatening me, boy?
I wouldn't do that, but I cannot speak for those people outside.
Let him go! Let him go! Let him go!
This game.
Looks like somebody opened it already.
Not me.
Dear Mr. Tolson, we wish to extend an invitation to debate Harvard Crimson. We'll be one of the first Negro colleges in America to ever debate a white college. If we defeat them, we defeat the best.
What's the matter? You afraid?
From director Denzel Washington and producer Oprah Winfrey comes the story
This debate is stirring up a lot of excitement. It's going to be broadcast all over America.
of the team that got the world to listen.
This is WNBC Radio, bringing to you live tonight's history-making debate.
Academy Award winner Denzel Washington. Academy Award winner Forrest Whitaker.
My message to you is to never quit.
The Great Debate.
It's a really fantastic film, so do go and check it out, and it's very inspiring. But unfortunately, we have run out of time, so we can't ask all our final questions. But thank you so much for being here, and if you have any final few words, very quickly, just share them with all the viewers.
Well, my message to the nation is that just believe in the system, believe in Pakistan, and we are a great nation, and we will be, inshallah.
Great. And Dr. Hava?
Well, Pakistan is not made by the soil or the plant or the trees. It's made by its people. So learn to appreciate the people, learn to appreciate Pakistan.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, and that was great. And
Our pleasure.
thank you so much. And I hope you guys took something from the show and you enjoyed it. And, you know, do check it out. See who are the influential people these days, who's making a difference, even if it's your next door neighbor. You know, highlight them, support them, and, you know, don't be negative. And if someone's doing something good, let them do it in peace.
Just step out, go out and give them a hug, a tight hug. I think it will do.
I don't know if you should touch them.
And don't forget to write to us on our Facebook fan page, because that's where we get our appreciation
Positive or negative, we read everything.
Yeah, and we tend to behave according to that too.
Yes.
So till the next time, look after yourselves, embrace Ramadan, embrace your religion, and do whatever.
Embrace the goodness.
Yes.
And have a fantastic day, and we will see you again bright and early tomorrow.